Good morning and happy Sabbath, everyone. We are going to quickly go through a health alert. We wanted to share this in the month of September, but we had Unity Week last week, and we didn't get to share it. So I want to share this information. Okay, enough already. We're talking about suicide awareness. There has been, of course, a lot of attention about suicide, but we're going to take a look at it from a biblical standpoint so that we can know what to do. Next slide, please. Okay, so from a statistical standpoint, we've got a lot of people, some 2023 statistics. So we have 49,000 people who died because of suicide. 49,000, okay? 12.8 had serious thoughts about suicide, and those who made plans and those who actually attempted was 1.5 million. That's a lot of people. That's one for every 11 minutes. Next slide. Okay, so the risk factors, trauma. People have trauma in their lives, and it's just so much, it's so overwhelming. Illness, sicknesses that have taken them down, or sicknesses of other people. Prolonged stress, hereditary factors, alcohol and drugs. Okay, next slide. What were we talking about? Really a spiritual problem. It is a spiritual problem. People feel far away from the Lord and trying to fill it with other things. Having issues that have made them so overwhelmed that they can't live another day. Next slide. Okay, so there's sinful hereditary issues. They can't help it because we are what? Born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And that is our default. But is it? The enemy is fast on our tracks, trying to make us emotionally stressed, make us unhealthy, have illnesses, financial issues of unemployment, being furloughed, right? Political issues surmounting our thoughts all the time. And then there's societal issues, social injustice, and stuff like that. Next slide, please. Okay, so it's not hard to be down. We can get frustrated. Things can just overwhelm us, and we get so sad. We have some examples. We have David, who had deep sorrow for his sins. We had Jonah, who was angry, some emotional issues there. We had Naomi, who lost her husband and her sons. And we have Hannah, who had fertility issues. Next slide. Then there was Elijah. Elijah had it all together, one victory after another. He had the drought. He said when it was going to stop, when it was going to rain, according to the Lord, the flour and the oil with the widow and her son. And then they had victory at Mount Carmel, my absolute favorite story. And then the drought ends, 3.5 years, and it rained because of what because of what Elijah said. Next slide. So in 1 Kings, he finds himself under a broom tree. All these victories. And now he is completely done. I've had enough. Enough already. And what does he do? He says, Lord, just take my life. Take my life. Because Jezebel was fast on his heels. Next slide. But God was keeping him. Got him something to eat, presses on, helps him to trust and love and be obedient. Next slide. And then those signs and symptoms that we're so familiar with, people who have issues with, of course, and thinking about suicide, have persistent sadness, loss of interest in pleasurable things. They have worthlessness, difficulty concentrating, hopelessness, thoughts of self-harm, and suicide ensues. Next slide. But those signs and symptoms you can see there, I'm just going to move on because I can't really see it. So, so feeling burdened and feeling isolated, increased anxiety, looking at life in a different way and as it never should be looked at, with hopelessness and sleeplessness, and talking about passing things on, posting things and leaving things for other people to have, and it's difficult. Next slide. But the brave are not always courageous. The happy are not always smiling. The powerful are not always conquering. So we do have sad times, and we need to realize that. But what do? Next slide. Next slide. Thank you. We look at solutions, physical solutions. We start at how physical things can actually affect our mental state. So it's important to really be aware of that. Eat good food, not junk food, because it actually helps with our mental state to actually have good food, nutritious food, full of vitamins and minerals, getting good sleep, starting at 9 o'clock when our melatonin is at its highest and we can get good sleep, okay? Don't take a melatonin tablet. Melatonin is actually made in your brain, and you can actually get well and do well and get good sleep by just having good melatonin levels in your blood, okay? Sugary drinks, cut them out. It actually increases that sadness and that difficulty. It seems to be you feel good for a time, but it's actually making it worse, okay? Getting outside in the sunshine. Sunshine helps with that serotonin and helps with that melatonin so you can actually feel good as well, okay? Walking with a purpose, walking outside with sunshine and fresh air, and getting help when you need it, being aware of your help, getting prescriptions if it absolutely is necessary. And some people, it is absolutely necessary. Next slide. Okay, and when you know there is a sadness you cannot seem to break, and your counseling doesn't seem to do what you need to do, call 988. Get some help right away. Next slide. Okay, how about on the physical and the spiritual side? Physical and spiritual side, we know the enemy is hot on our heels. This is the end of time. This is what he's going to make us feel like we need to do away with ourselves. But we need to pick up our Bible. We need to read. We need to pray. We need to read. We need to study. We need to ask God to be with us and to take us and to increase our faith and to help us to be obedient. Next slide. God will never leave us. We are hard-pressed on every side of life, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Next slide. God has given us tools, and he has given us hope. Suicide does not have to be an option. So when you hear somebody who's feeling despondent, get them the help. Call 988. But also show them the Lord, because he is there right by their side. Happy Sabbath, everyone. Next slide. Sorry, real quick. Prayer room. Please remember that you can pray. It is possible for us to pray together corporately every morning. We have not missed a day since April 6th at all. Be there. We're there. When you need us, we're there. Next slide. And quickly, just to let you know, we're starting a public library series, and the first one's called Avoiding Seasonal Viruses. We meet on every fourth Sabbath, and there will be opportunity for people in the community to learn about Jesus, okay, through viruses. And you have to come to find out. Invite you there. Happy Sabbath, everyone.